93.3 KZOZ FM San Luis Obispo. The home of Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
They have no chemistry at all.
It's Dumbass of the Day, brought to you by Peterson's U-Car, getting everything you need ready to go for spring. Make sure you check them out. They do landscaping, they got concrete supplies, and so much more. Go to Peterson, the letter U, carts.com.
How pathetic can some people be?
I don't do a lot of political stuff. That's what you're into. I've always said this, though, about politics. I've always said I like my politicians like I like my baseball players. And by that, I, of course, mean Republican. And by Republican, I, of course, mean Dominican Republican. Relax, folks. You think I'm crazy? Come on. If you were booing or cheering the first part of that joke, you thought you were booing conservatism. Turns out you're just a racist, and you don't like utility infielders. And what did they do to you, right? Nothing. That's what they did to you.
Dumbass of the Day. 93.3 KZOZ.
I think it's very fitting that the mayor of San Luis Obispo sings songs to children in her, toddlers, in her off time. Did you know that about her?
Double H, H squared?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that about her. What did she do? Didn't I hear she go to the library or something and sing them songs?
I don't know if she does it now because of COVID, and I think it would be highly irresponsible because she is really, touting protocol when it comes to.
And one of them is don't sing in public.
Yeah. So if she was doing that right now, I think it's bad. But, sometimes you need to. The people of certain cities need to know that they can be treated like a child from their leaders. Governor in Texas did not follow the Heidi Harmon blueprint when it came to babying his constituents. He has had to resign amid backlash.
Ted Cruz yesterday, the governor today.
Texas
is under a lot of.
It snows there, and people
not
go crazy
heat right now, but metaphorically.
He slammed the residents of Colorado City, the city that he was the mayor of, for being lazy and weak for seeking government help with the power outages that came amid the freezing temperatures by the winter storm. He said, this is what he wrote down. He said, "No one owes you or your family anything. Nor is it the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice."
What is the government for, then? The government is supposed to be there to help you, assist you in your life. That's why we pay taxes. They're not supposed to be there to tell us how to live our lives. They're supposed to be to help us.
Look at you, Bernie. The Bernie supporter coming out.
No, that's actually quite the opposite. Bernie would tell you that government is there to run your life, right? I'm saying no, they're not there to run your life. They're there to help you when in need.
He also wrote, the city and county, along with power providers or any other service, owes you nothing, despite the fact that you pay for the bills. He says he's sick and tired of people looking for a damn handout. This is the mayor of a smaller city in Texas. I mean, it's not that big of a city. He urged those who lost power to step up and come up with a game plan. What the hell's the game plan? I wouldn't know how to fix the power if it's not.
Because you rely on government too much. I told you what it is, Jeff, and you called me an idiot.
I'm not buying a $5,000 generator to go along with my
a generator
helicopter rescue subscription.
Listen,
okay,
if you have the Generac thing is awesome because it'll run off natural gas. And you don't even have to go out to the gas station. It'll just run. And then you can wire it right in, run your whole house like nothing happened.
People were without fresh water in Colorado City.
Except for the people with Generacs. Because they have electricity to run their wells.
He told those people, he says, deal with it and think outside the box for a survival solution.
Yeah. Well, he's a little
shortly after he
great government employee there, by the way.
He caught a lot of flack. He announced his resignation in a post that apologized for the wording and some of the phrases. But he insisted that he won't deny for 1 minute his overall message of pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Well, I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, listen, man, you got to look out for yourself. But at the same time, you don't want to hear that from the guy you're giving your tax money to that's supposed to be there when you need help.
I'm tired of the lazy and weak residents trying to seek government help.
Is he going to lose his job?
Yeah, well, he resigned.
Oh, good.
He resigned amid
and they should have burned his house
big
down.
Time pressure.
They should have burned his house down, and then they could have said, hey, you should have been planning ahead for that, huh? For us to have an angry mob come burn your house down.
No
Where
one
were you
owes
on that
you
one?
or your family anything, nor it's the local government's responsibility to support you during trying times like this. Sink or swim, it's your choice.
To having a mayor that just wears a flower and runs around and sings songs to kids is probably better than one that just doesn't give a crap about you at all. So,
but
things could be worse, Slow. That's what I'm saying.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in this instance, but still, I think you took it a little too far, Tim. Tim Boyd, the former mayor of Colorado, the former mayor, not governor, mayor of Colorado City, a city in the great state of Texas.
You are Jeff and Jeremy.
Thank you.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Cart on Augusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We load, you cart, you save.
We got your Federico's on the way. It's Federico's Fresh Max. They're downtown San Luis Obispo. They bring in the fish daily from Hawaii. Oahu, because it's all about...
I think actually they source theirs mostly from Kauai because that's where their resources
are. Okay. It's all about Ohana.
Yes.
At Federico's Fresh Mix. Federico's Fresh Mix, SLO. They've got an app. You can get pickup. You can eat there on the patio. I'm telling you, they have a lot of great food. A lot of great Mexican food. But you know what? If you like fish tacos, you'd be cheating yourself not to get one. Federico's Fresh Mix, SLO 940. You can win a $20 gift card if you know the show.
Yesterday, we were speaking of Texas politicians. One that came under fire yesterday, Ted Cruz. We have an update on how
he's very charming. He's very smooth.
That's what he thinks,
and he wears lifts. Or was that the other one?
Yeah.
Does Ted Cruz lift? No, that was the other one.
Something about toes and Teddy. We need to
toes and Teddy. Teddy toes. Teddy two toes. How tall is Ted Cruz?
Oh yeah, he needs to wear lifts.
He's pretty short.
Yeah.
5'8". Oh, he does not. He does not. People say he looks like he's 5'10", though. Maybe he does wear lifts.
That's interesting because he's taller than you.
Not when I have my roosters on. I got my rooster boots on today.
So you wear lifts.
Gives me an extra inch and a half.
An update on the senator from the great state of Texas.
We will secure the border.
Coming up.
All right, Jeff and Jeremy here, the podcast. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. Look for it now. Update, Teddy Cruz. What did they say? Fled Cruz? Or Fleddy Teddy?
Fled Cruz.
You know.
Fled Ted. Ted the Fled. He got the hell out of Texas when the ice and the snow came. He's in Cancun.
Who's best prepared to be commander-in-chief?
Yeah. We have an update, and I'm guessing that update says Ted's back in Texas.
Yes, Ted is in Texas. It's so funny. I hate our politicians right now. I can't stand them. I can't.
Why now and not yesterday or the day before?
Oh, no. Yesterday and the day before the same. I want to go back to a time in like the 80s when everybody went to work, they did their job, and they didn't have access to Twitter, Facebook. Maybe this is how we fix American politics is you limit their exposure to social media, because the minute that Ted Cruz got on the plane, he was open to scrutiny by everyone. You know how many times the Democrats in Texas have called on Ted Cruz to resign or be expelled from office?
Like during his entire career there?
During his entire career.
Oh, I bet. I'm sure it's more than I can count on two hands.
21 times. Yeah, this is the 21st time because of he got on the plane and he went to Texas. I mean, to Cancun.
And these are people in Texas?
Yeah, this is what they said. The Texas Democrats, the Democrat leadership in Texas.
Democrats are interesting. If you're in a room and with a bunch of Democrats and they find out that you're a conservative or a Republican, they will look at you like you're the devil. If you're in a room with a bunch of Republicans or conservatives and you find somebody who's a Democrat, I almost feel like they almost feel bad for you. Like, but But it's the opposite with Democrats. They look at you like you need to be taken out back and put down.
Very mad.
So fun.
This is what the Texas Democrats said in response to the flight that Ted Cruz took. In the middle of one of the worst crises in Texas history, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz jetted off to Cancun. His constituents in Texas remain trapped in the cold without clean water, heat, or warm food, 37 of which have died. This is what we've come to expect from Texas Republican leadership. They are self-serving, inept, corrupt politicians who think that being in office
very
entitles
generalized statement.
them to do
one guy,
and
not everybody's without food and water, and not everybody's died.
His response to this is, okay, now he came back yesterday.
Yeah.
As we were talking about him yesterday, he was on a plane coming back. This was his response as to why he took the trip to Cancun. And in all the pictures I've seen of him sitting on a plane, by the way, much respect for Tiptoe Teddy, because Tiptoe Teddy was sitting in coach. He wasn't wasting our resources.
He's a man of the people.
By sitting in first class.
He wanted to send a message.
He's
a man of the
sitting
people.
in coach with a mask on. He said, this has been an infuriating week for Texans. The greatest state in the greatest country in the world has been without power. We have food lines, gas lines, and people sleeping in neighbors' houses or at their neighbors' houses. Our homes are freezing, our lights are out, and like millions of Texans, our family lost heat and power too. With school canceled for the week, our girls wanted to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew with them last night, and I am flying back this afternoon. My staff and I are in constant communication with the state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. We want our power back on, our water back on, and our homes warm. My team will continue to use all the resources to keep Texans informed and safe. Now, how much of this do you think?
Everything is perfect. Everything is better now.
Do you think he got caught, though? I mean, what percentage of you is buying that? Like he got to Cancun. He did the thing where he goes up and hits the button.
Got caught.
Got the green light.
Yep.
And then opened up his social media.
More like he got the red light.
Opened up his social media as he's walking out to the taxi, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? Gonna have to go back." Girls,
Here's
have a good
the thing.
time.
People make mistakes. Maybe this wasn't a big mistake when we find out everything. But it's how you react after the mistake is made.
Yeah.
And I think he did.
Tom Brady was framed.
Yeah. Unlike Tom Brady, who made up an excuse about whatever, I believe that he did the right thing. Whether you like his politics or not,
It's a disaster.
If you're in a position like he was, and you realize that you've made a mistake and people are upset, you do the best thing you can to fix that. And I think he couldn't have done anything else. Yes, he made a mistake. And now he's back.
Yeah.
So how can you be mad? I mean, you could say, maybe he didn't have the best judgment. He came back, and he's trying to do the right thing.
He came back, and who's to say?
And I would say that about anybody. It doesn't matter their politics.
I know his nickname is Lion Ted, but who's to say that is not the truth? Only he knows whether or not that's the truth, whether he planned on going there and staying there. But it doesn't matter, because what he did was he went there and then came back the next day and went to work. I mean, people take sick days all the time from work. If he was really sick, would we have been like, oh, man, where is he? What's this sick nonsense? Come on.
How many of you that are going to judge him that had a vacation planned, you went on vacation, you used your vacation hours, would cut your vacation short to come back to help out your company? Because they called you and said, hey, could you come back? I know you were supposed to take 2 weeks off, but could you come back?
Let me explain.
We really need your help. I don't know how many people would do that.
No, exactly.
And if you were going to lose out on a reservation or all that kind of stuff, I don't know.
The facts are very, very simple.
You have to ask yourself these questions.
Yeah. I think everybody's just hard on everybody, and everybody's got a magnifying glass on everybody who doesn't have the same mindset that they have, and we need to ease the hell up on the gas on this.
Yeah, I saw somebody the other day that lives in Texas that listened to this show made a comment in the news feed.
Who was it?
David Pecker.
No, it wasn't
Pecker.
It wasn't Pecker. It was
Pecker.
I forget the guy's name. But he pretty much said, "Hey, listen, I've got power, I've got heat, I've got showers,
Jeff
I've got
and Jeremy
food.
in the
If you
morning.
can get to me, my house is open to you." And that's the kind of stuff you need to pass forward.
That guy.
Yeah, at any time, at any place.
Can we get that guy into one of these seats of power?
I know that he makes really good mac and cheese because he made us some. I forget.
I want everybody that runs for office next time not to take a side. Just to be like, this is my policy. Just policies. Just the policy.
This is what I want to do for people.
This is my policy.
I don't care
I'm
either
not
way.
part of a party. This is my policy. And if it's a good policy, it stands out, and that guy or girl gets voted into office.
Whoa!
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Coming up, we got a new Surfnet Communications poll question at kzoz.com.
Yeah, this one has to do with something you said earlier. It has to do with your relations with your wife.
With me specifically, or just people in general?
With your wife and everybody else. Wife,
with everybody else
husbands.
and my wife? What are you trying to say?
No, I'm not trying to say anything. What I'm saying is this applies to everybody.
Okay.
It's the Surfnet Communications poll
Your wife
question.
included?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking it up at Teddy. Teddy Two Toes. Ted the Fled. Ooh. Is that a kazoo?
Close, a saxophone.
I play a kazoo like a saxophone.
One
if you didn't
takes
know.
skill, and the other one takes a mouth.
Hey, you should hear me play the saxophone. I'm telling you. I mean the kazoo. It sounds like a saxophone.
I wonder if saxophone players are really mad at kazoo players. They're like, come on, all you do is talking to that thing.
No, they are far superior in their own world.
There's a shared respect for that?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, they just think they're better.
Earlier, you said that you kiss your wife goodnight before you go to bed.
Yes, I do.
This is the poll question. It's Surfnet Communications poll question of the day, kzoz.com. Do you kiss your spouse or your significant other before you go to sleep at night? Every night is the question. Every night. You said you do it every night.
I mean, I'm sure there's.
I mean, aren't there times when you're
that we might
sitting
not
there watching TV or whatever as you fall asleep, and then they're already asleep, and you're like, oh, they're asleep. I'm going to go to sleep too.
No, because as soon as we get in bed and we get comfortable, I do it. Or she does
schedule it early. Because I fall under the category of I try to, but then sometimes you just fall asleep.
Yeah, we just usually, once we get into bed and we're kind of comfortable and we got the TV on, because we always watch usually The Office at night or another show, and reach over, do that little thing real quick, because, yeah, I'll usually fall asleep first because I get up early.
We do make it a point to say I love you.
And then sometimes
and then
she's
somebody
like,
falls asleep.
She looks at me and she goes, you got to quit drinking diet soda.
Why?
Like, I just brushed my teeth. She goes, yeah, you got to quit drinking diet soda.
Does diet soda make your breath stink?
Yeah, it's the sugar supplement, or whatever you want to call that, substitute. It's not good, I guess. I don't know. So I quit drinking diet soda. She says, my breath is great now.
You should switch to Rockstar. See what she says about that.
No, gross. No. It's like, if she had bad breath, I would never tell her. Like, I know that would really upset her, but she loves it. If I don't have fresh, oh my God.
Does it? So it must upset you if you think that she would be upset about it.
She knows that it bothers me. Why do you think I have cologne? I don't ever want to stink.
You spray cologne in
my
your mouth?
number one thing. No.
Does she ever say to you, you got to stop drinking
So now
Jacquard Noir?
I also use, I just use a good mouthwash now. Plus, she works at a dental practice, right? Like an office. So I want to make sure that the fresh breath is always there. Just in case, something may happen. Just in case.
So your options are, yes, you do it every night, which I find that very hard to believe.
I think most people will say that.
Yes, you try, but sometimes it'll slip through the cracks. No, no need to, or does not apply because you're single.
I would say we do it more before we go to sleep than we do before we leave each other for the day. Or, she's running to the store or I'm going somewhere. Just it's a goodbye, I love you type thing.
Well, she's not going to do it before you leave for the day because she can't handle your breath at night. She's not going to handle your breath after a night of sleeping.
Can I do a sidebar real quick? Sure. Just a question. The I love you on the phone before you hang up. Is that a constant?
That might be a better question, actually.
Yeah, it is at my house. And when I hear people that are married that don't say I love you before they hang up with the other person,
you think they're fighting.
I think there's something going on.
Yeah, you think they're fighting.
Ooh, things aren't good.
Only time I don't say I love you is when I hang up on her. That's because we're fighting.
Anyways, maybe we'll throw that on the Facebook page. You can go over to kzoz.com right now and check out the Surfnet Communications Poll question. SurfNet Communications getting you connected with speeds faster than DSL or satellite.
Oh, a little low, Ted.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.